Hello, hello, happy Friday. This is Jennifer Sinceri and I am a Stampin' Up independent demonstrator. It is October 15th, 2021, and I am so glad that you are joining me. This is my Fun Friday Facebook Live. You might be catching me later on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and I appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. You might be watching a replay. Whatever it is, I appreciate that you are here. Happy weekend, everyone. Tonight, we are going to make 2 cards, and one of them is a new fun fold that I'd like to share with you. Hello, Lori. Thanks for hopping on this evening. So let's see. I'm a little bit early. We'll give it a few minutes. Normally, you can catch me here on my Facebook business channel at Stamping with Jennifer Sinceri on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Friday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is my usual. Every so often life gets in the way and sometimes I can't make it, but I try to let you guys know. Then I repost those videos onto my YouTube channel. Eventually, I hope to be able to do YouTube live videos, but I'm not quite there yet with my subscribers. So you can help me grow my business by sharing these videos on your Facebook page, subscribing to them on YouTube, following me, all of the above. That helps more people find me, and it helps my business to grow. And we get to share the love of paper crafting with our friends and family. So if you would, on Facebook, would you please give me a thumbs up on this video or a heart? And then would you please sprinkle the love with your friends and family on your Facebook pages? That would be wonderful. Hello, Carol. Happy Friday to you, friend. And let's get started, okay? All right. So tonight, like I mentioned, we're going to play and we're going to make 2 cards. One is a new fun fold. I don't know that I've shown it to you. Maybe I have. I can't remember. We're going to be playing with Merriest Moments stamp set. I've played with this before. It has a beautiful embossing folder and it has dies that will cut and emboss at the same time. But tonight we're just going to play with stamps, okay? Now I want to show you, I always like to show you the items that I'm using and where you can find them in the catalogs. So in your mini catalog, and by the way, if you don't have catalogs and you don't have a demonstrator that you are working with, I would love to be your demonstrator and I would love to share free catalogs with you. You can message me through Facebook. You can go to my website, jennifersinceri.stampinup.net, and you can message me there as well and request your catalog. And I would love to get that to you. All right, so here's the stamp set. And like I mentioned, it is a bundle. So there are dies and an embossing folder that you can purchase. It's on page 43. It's called the Merriest Moments Bundle. And then the DSP that I'm using this evening is a returning favorite. It's called the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. And that's on page 57. The pack of paper sells for $11.50. The colors that this coordinates with are Real Red, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, and Basic White. Okay. Then I've got a few items. Actually, I think I am going to pull one of our snowflakes. I don't know that I tagged the page in here. Let me show them to you. They are amazing. You can see them right here. You get a pack of 24 of these guys. 24, and it's like a great deal. Let me find it for you. That was the one thing I forgot to tag. Here they are on page 25. It's a little difficult to see, but they are pearlized and they're called Wonderful Snowflakes. You get 24 iridescent foil snowflakes for $6. So I love these. I've used these a few times and I think I'm going to use one tonight on one of the cards. Now there's a couple items from our annual catalog. This is the really thick catalog. It's good for 1 year. The mini catalogs are good for seasons. So the Christmas holiday mini catalog came out. It actually did not come out in July. It came out in August because of delays with COVID. And it's good through the end of December. Okay. This one will retire in April. Okay, so one of the items I'm going to use is the Simply Elegant trim. I'm using the gold trim tonight. You get silver and gold, 2 spools for $7.50. You get a total of 10 yards. And then I've used an embossing folder, and the one I used tonight was the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. And our embossing folders are on page 154 and 155. And that particular one sells for $9. You could use almost any embossing folder that you would like. And then another tool I'm using this evening, I had some layering circle dies. Those are still available. It's on page 163. And you get 16 dies, scalloped and then smooth circles for $35. All right. Card number 1. And I did a better job tonight. I wrote down all the dimensions. I'm going to hold this up so that you can see all of the dimensions. If you want to take a screenshot, you could do that. I'll just hold it here for a few minutes. Later on, you can go back and rewatch the video if you need to. You could stop the video at any point and write down these dimensions as well. Hello, Deanna, and hello, Jeannie. Thank you for coming this evening, joining us. All right, hopefully everyone has that written down or you took a picture. And again, you can go back and freeze your video or rewatch it and take a picture. Okay. All right. Moving on. Oh, hello, Shelly. Thanks for hopping on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me grab some white paper. We're going to be using 3 different colors tonight. We're going to be using Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, and Real Red. Hello, Julie. Welcome, welcome. This is a really cute stamp set that has poinsettias, lots of foliage, red berries, and I absolutely love it. All right, so the stamps are photopolymer, so that means they're clear, you can see through. And we're going to stamp 1 layer of our poinsettia. Now I'm going to be using a poinsettia on each of the cards I'm doing tonight, but I'm just showing you how they stamp so that I've actually done all my die cutting before to help save time. All right, and then there's a tiny, tiny little stamp, and these are the little berries that go in here. Now you'll notice there's another berry stamp. These are larger that could go with the holly leaves, but we're going to put the little centers in our poinsettia. Now you could do these yellow if you want, or you could do them red. I'm doing them red. I know normally, actually I didn't need to put it on that one. I'm going to layer these, so you only really need it to do it on one, but that's okay. I was talking. You could, like I said, you could do yellow. I think the centers on real poinsettias are yellow. I'm choosing to do red tonight because I have no yellow on the card. I do have a little bit of gold, so I guess it would have blended in just fine, but that's what I'm doing tonight. Okay, then we're going to take some Old Olive, and then there's another foliage. Kind of looks like, kind of reminds me of eucalyptus a little bit. I don't know what kind of leaf this would be. Not sure what that is, but I think it's lovely, don't you? Very pretty. Okay, you could use a couple of these. Now, each of these shapes has a die so that you can cut those items out. Don't have to fussy cut, so that is wonderful for those of you that are not a lover of fussy cutting. Then we're going to take Mossy Meadow, and these are separate stamps, okay? I'll lift it off and you can see. They're not connected. What I ended up doing was I just put them on one block very close together so that I can stamp both at the same time. So there's a little tip that will help save you some time. Okay. Hello, Linda. Welcome, my friend. And then we're going to stamp some holly leaves. Okay. All right. Let me close up those inks because I don't need inky fingers, although probably I'm going to get inky. Now you're going to run these through and let me show you the dies. Like I said, it has an embossing folder, so there's great texture here. And then this also has a die that will cut out that shape if you lay it on here correctly. Yep. So I've played with this in one of my other videos, and you can watch that video another time to see how that works. All right, so here's a die that will cut this piece out. And then we have poinsettias, and you just have to move it around to make sure that doesn't look like it matches. I might have had it right. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that one was there we go. So that goes there. And then we've got the bigger poinsettia. I just moved it, so we're not going to get all, doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just pretending right now. I'm just showing you how they fit. Then we've got our big holly leaf. Okay. And then we have a little holly leaf. So you'll just run those through your cut and emboss machine. And then you're going to get all your little pieces. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside. I'll use those images on another card because I've already cut everything out. Okay. So we are going to use a basic wide, let me grab my other bone folder, a basic white card base. And if you are just now joining us, I did show all the dimensions. I wrote them out. So after I'm done with the live, you can go back and you can freeze the frame and write down all the dimensions. Okay. So this is real red, and normally I cut my layers about 1/4 of an inch smaller each time, but these are 1/8. Okay. So that's why I wrote everything out for you. I just wanted a little bit of red. Here is my embossed layer. That we're going to put on. Just a little tiny bit of red. I really wanted the crispness of the white on this particular card. Okay. Now, we've got some pieces of DSP that we've cut, and they're at different dimensions, and I know that this one is shorter, but there's a reason for that, so trust me. Okay, now what we're going to do with these pieces is we're going to pop them up with some dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my U-pick tool. I like to use my little pointy end. Be careful because it will stab you. You will get hurt if you are not paying attention. Okay, and so we're going to put some dimensionals on the four corners of this piece, we kind of want it to look like it's floating a little bit. I'm just moving something real quick. Okay, there we go. And because this is a little bit longer, I think I'll go ahead and put 2 more here because I don't like my pieces to cave in. I want them to all be lifted up. And I think it just supports the paper a little bit better. So I just picked off all my tabs and I'm going to throw that in the garbage. They don't land on my carpet and my husband is super happy. He's the one who vacuums. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over a little bit. I want a bit of white on the outside perimeter, and then these are going to be closer together. So, and you know, you don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing. That's okay. You can make it your own. How is everyone doing? How was your week? I didn't get on Tuesday. I started teaching what we call extended day at school for kiddos who need a little bit more help. And so I got out of work late and I just was pretty tired by the end of the day. I finished with students around 4 o'clock. And I just didn't have the energy to get on live on Tuesday night. So I apologize. Not normally my routine. So I was very eager to see you guys tonight. I left school right at 3 o'clock and I was like, my weekend's starting. I am ready. Okay. So I'm just going to let a little bit of white in between those 2 pieces so they look like they're separate. And yes, that is higher. And I did that on purpose. Okay, so those are lifted up. I'm going to hold this up a little bit closer so that you can see the texture. You can see the texture on that embossing. Isn't that lovely? Okay. All right, Julie. Where is Sharon tonight? I don't see her. Okay, so we've got 2 poinsettias, and what we're going to do is we're going to layer them like that, okay? And they're going to be up on the top of here, and then we're going to add some foliage. So I needed a little bit of space for that. Let me put some adhesive here so that we can double up our poinsettia. Okay. And then we're going to pop that up. But some of it is on my paper and some of it is on the cardstock. And so we're only going to put a dimensional on this side. And yes, as you can see, there's ink on the other side. A lot of times when I'm stamping and I don't like what I did, like for instance, my ink pad needed to be re-inked. So I didn't get the color that I wanted. I just flipped the paper over and used the other side. I didn't want to waste the paper. So you can use your scraps. There might be something on the back side. Nobody's going to know because it's going to be on the back of your card. Nobody's going to see that. Okay. All right. So let's see. We need a dimension maybe over here. Maybe these 2 petals right here. And then we're going to put some adhesive. Whatever you choose. You can use liquid glue. You can use Stampin' Seal. Whatever you want. This is a lovely stamp set. I have the Poinsettia stamp set from last year that carried over. I have that one too, and I love that one. But what I really liked about this particular stamp set was all the sentiments and then all the greenery. I really liked all the greenery. Okay, so now I'm just gonna squeeze some of this greenery in here and we'll decide what we're going to use. All right. How we're going to place it. Where it's going to go. And so on. I want to add, I should have put in my little gold cording already. I should have done that. I think that's too much. I don't like that. So I think we'll leave it at that. Let me pull my gold cording and see if I can still sneak some in. I should have put it down before I put my poinsettia. And I'm just going to make a big sloppy bow. And then I can, oops, got stuck on my finger. Then I can just use those really large loops and tails behind. I might have to lift that poinsettia up. That's a bit too big because we don't want it to go off the card. That'll work. That will work. Let's see if we can finagle that behind our poinsettia. So sometimes you have to kind of lift. I'm doing a little bit of card surgery right now. Let's move our greenery because that's not adhered yet. Not too bad. Okay, just be careful with those dimensionals. Lift them off. Okay. So let's put a glue dot here. Okay. And then we'll put the poinsettia back on. There we go. Now, if you want, you can leave the tails so it kind of looks like a big long bow, or you can take those tails and you can loop them again so you have more loops. It's totally up to you how you want to make it work. I might trim them a little bit. I'm going to put my greenery in and then we'll see what we want to do. Sometimes when I am creating and I'm also designing at the same time. We've had a lot of wind here and my lips are super chapped. I'm going to have to get some lip balm. My goodness, I feel like I've got a split lip. All right, let's put those pretty leaves in there. I'm going to lift that gold cording up over my leaf. Okay. I want to bring this cording over a little more. Maybe on top. There we go. Okay, and then I pulled some of the metallic pearls. You get gold and silver. So we're going to put a couple gold pearls on here. And then I need to put a sentiment on, and we're going to decorate the inside. Okay. I don't know how many they give you. Let's see. You get 242 of these guys. That is a lot of pearls. These are found in the annual catalog. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm going to put one maybe right there on that leaf. And we'll do one there. You could actually put pearls in the center of the poinsettia if you want. I think I'll put one right there. All right. I just don't like that one piece. That one piece is kind of being obstinate. This one's nice and curled and that one isn't. So I think we're going to trim it. And then trim the other one a little bit. There we go. Okay, then in this set, there's a word, joy. And so I just stamped that on a piece of white scrap. And what I'm going to do is just create a little pendant, flag pendant. So I just make a snip down the center and then come in on both sides. Okay. And we're going to put that here. So let's adhere that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that just crisp? I love it. Okay, now we're going to do the inside. Okay, so I've got a layer and then I've got white. I thought a little bit more red inside would be nice instead of just having plain white. So I thought dress it up a little bit. Whenever I use white as my card base, I always put a layer inside. Okay, so let's put a sentiment on here and we'll decorate it up a bit. And let's see, since we're doing red insert, let's do some green. We'll do some old olive on the inside. And we're going to say a joyful Christmas to you and yours. Okay. Make sure I've got a good amount of ink. There we go. Now I do have some extra pieces that I cut out. I have some extra leaves. I do have an extra poinsettia here. I could stamp it on here, but I like how I can double up my poinsettia, okay? And you can't really do that with the stamps on top of each other. So I am going to go ahead and use these and put them on the inside. Might as well, right? And not let it go to waste. I didn't want to do that. Let's fix that because I want to make sure it looks correct. Petals all over. Okay, and then we'll put our pretty poinsettia right there. And then I'm going to add some greenery. I had those extra leaves, might as well use them. And my adhesive is done. So let me grab my other roll. I knew it was going to happen, but I wanted to get that last little bit of glue adhesive out. I am almost out of our retired snail. Using up every little piece of it while I can. All right. Let's put these little leaves in here. Maybe, I don't think I like that one there. Let's do it down here. And then we'll do the other piece. Okay. That one's bigger, so kind of want it down on the bottom. And then maybe we'll put this piece right here. I always feel like go to the extra trouble of decorating the inside of your cards. You know, Christmas cards are special and I just want to make them look as pretty as I can. So go to that extra trouble if you've got the time to dress up the inside too. All right. Come on, get my fingers to work there. All right. Just making sure it's all nice and centered. Then if I'm really in a festive mood, I could grab some Wink Castella and I could put some sparkles on my poinsettia. Just a little bit. And then we can do it on the inside too. I'm going to have to let that dry though, because I don't want to close it and then I get ink on the other side of my card. So I'm going to leave this open while it dries. Isn't that cute? Let me cap this. All right, so there's the inside. Hold it up. I don't know if you guys can see little sparkles on there. And then the front. I'm so glad you like it, Shelly. Okay, so now let's work on the second card. And the second card is the fun fold. Okay. And I did all my stamping and die cutting. I showed you how the stamps work already. So we've got everything here ready to go. I've got my poinsettia leaves. I've got greenery. Probably more than I need. My layering circles, I used the old olive. Actually, this is a stitched circle and these are retired. But the layering circles, it would just be a regular circle without the stitches. I've got a snowflake. Okay, now let me show you the dimensions for the second card. And I will hold it up. It says card number 2. I'm going to hold this up so that you can see it a little better. And you can take a screenshot. Or you can watch the replay and then just freeze the video. Okay. I know it's hard to write everything down super fast, so I'll just hold it there for a couple more seconds and then we'll get started. Okay, I'm going to move it. Sorry if anyone's saying, no, don't move it, I'm not ready yet. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. All right, so again, we're going to have a white card base. I feel like the white is just so pretty with these colors. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a hinge, and then we're going to have an element here that when we open up our card, okay? So you've seen cards like this before, but this one's going to have a little bit of a hinge on it. Okay. So let's adhere all our layers. It's just a bunch of layers. Nothing really complicated. No weird cutting. You just got to know your fractions. So I cut these at 8ths to make it a little bit of a thinner mat. That's all. Instead of 4ths, I did 8ths. Okay. You could change it up and you could do 4ths if you want. You would just have, more of that matte color showing. Okay, there's that. Now, we're going to do our hinge first. Okay, so this is a piece. It's a 5 by 6. Let's see, no, 5, and that's not right. I think I made a boo-boo. Usually I end up making a boo-boo. My hinge is a 1.5. 1.5 by 6. Why did I must have, so let me fix that real quick and I'll hold this back up in a minute. This is, see, I made a mistake and I think I wrote the same thing down again. So it's 1.5. Okay, I'll hold that back up for you guys. All right, so we're gonna glue down our hinge first, and then we lay the mats on top of it so you don't see this. Okay, and so my hinge, you know, I've already creased it, so I'm going to turn it and put adhesive on the back side. Hi, Peggy, and hello, Pamela. Welcome. Happy Friday. Okay, so there's our hinge. All right. Now we're going to do the mat. That goes on the inside. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then our DSP. Oh, come here. All right. There we go. And then I like to write on white paper, so I added a layer of white for the inside. You don't have to. You could write on the color. It's up to you. There's a little piece of adhesive there. Totally up to you, your preference. But I like to write on white, and I could also add some stamping on that too. Okay. Or the die cuts. So I'm just moving it so I've got a little bit of red on the other side. Okay, so there's the inside. Then we're going to add our focal point to our card. All right. So let's stamp a sentiment. And I think on this one, I'll do the same one I did on the inside of the last card. And we'll do a joyful Christmas to you and yours. This time I'm going to stamp it in Mossy Meadow. Okay, and I'm going to put it a little bit more towards the bottom of my circle because I am going to put a poinsettia on here. So I need a little bit of space for that. All right, and then we're going to adhere this to the scalloped layer. Oops, I just smeared the ink a little bit. Doggone it. Doggone it. All right, let's see if I put my snowflake there, and then I can put this on the hinge, and then we can put our poinsettia, something like that. That's kind of what I was thinking. Although I don't know, I might not end up using the snowflake. We'll see. It might be too much. Let me glue together my poinsettia. All right. So if we do it kind of like that, and then we can put a leaf, or maybe we want to do these guys. Let's see. I'm playing with it before I glue it down, because I want to make sure I love it. That's pretty, isn't it? maybe I just, well, if I cut the snowflake, that'll look funky because you're going to open it. But I wonder if I did, I think 2 snowflakes would be too much on there. What do you guys think? Snowflake or no snowflake? I think it's pretty. I think it makes it extra special. Extra special. All right. You want one side is pearlized and one side is flat. So let's do this guy first, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do. So I want to make sure that I am adhering this just to the hinge. So I'm going to open the card because I want to be able to see where it goes. Do you see that? Okay. And then we put it on. So what I think you want to do is you're going to want to put your adhesive here, and then you just stick this on top. Okay, so let me grab my silicone mat. I'm just going to put that underneath like that, and then we'll put our adhesive, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus on this because I just want to make sure this piece doesn't fall off. Okay, maybe a little bit more. And then we're going to lay this on top, covering up all that adhesive. And then I don't have a sticky part on the back. So put your adhesive on the hinge, okay? Just like that. Now we will put our poinsettia on. I want to make sure I'm going to put a little bit right there. Okay. Right there. And then Lori, no snowflake, but I like snowflakes. I know. We'll have to just see. Sometimes I go a little crazy and I just need to say stop. They are pretty. I wanted to use them, but it might not be needed. It might not need to happen. Okay, there. You put a little bit on that point. Okay. Almost done, ladies. And then let's use the smaller one. So with the Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus, it comes out in these strips, and they're a little bit wider. So I always make sure I fold it over so we don't see that. Sorry, my fingers are in the way. Okay. That's pretty. Isn't that pretty? Then how about on this one, let's use some of those gold pearls, and we'll put them in the center. Okay. We'll do 3 if I can get it off. Let's use the gummy side. There we go. There. Okay, there's that. That's very pretty. And we open it up, and then we need to put something here. And I don't have another poinsettia, so I have leaves, but I think we need, if we were to stamp something in here, I would want a poinsettia, I think. And the snowflakes aren't going to really show up on the inside, so we'll just save them for another project. Okay, let's use red on the inside. So we said, a joyful Christmas to you and yours. And so here, let's say, thinking of you this festive season. Okay, no messing up allowed. Ah! I'll have to go in. The great thing when you do something like this, if you don't get all of one letter, you go in with our Stampin' Right markers and you can fix it. So we'll fix it. Okay, before I give it to somebody. So I think that's a really cute element, having that hinge there, don't you? Do you guys love it? So you could put something here, you know, a tiny, might not do a double poinsettia here. I might just do one. I might just stamp it. Who knows? I haven't decided yet. Okay, that's what I've got for you guys. Let me pull the other card. So fun. I hope you love it. Now, before you go, let me just share with you new paper pumpkin coming, and it's adorable. So it's called Gifts Galore. It's going to be little treat boxes. I think these would be super cute to put on the table as like place setting favors if you wanted, or you can give them to coworkers, neighbors. You put homemade candy inside. You could put popcorn. You can put cocoa mix with candy canes. I think it would be super, super cute. So that is coming. You have until November 10th to subscribe to that. And then I think I've mentioned it before, but we do have a early release collection that is coming in November to customers, and it's called Eden's Garden. All right. So I hope you enjoyed these two cards. I think something about this was new, is that I had the scraps of paper float by popping them up with dimensionals, and I really like that instead of just having it flat. And then you've got this fun hinge element to your card. Okay? All right, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. I do like this paper. I love the colors. They're very cutesy, whimsical. I think I'm going to have to order more of this paper. Gosh darn it. All right. Happy weekend, everyone. Stay safe, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.